Okay, we ready to roll?
Yep.
Okay, proud of our guys. There was a lot of back and forth there for a while, but we just kept at it and answered the bell every time. And credit Baylor, they're a scrappy team, and the quarterback's a real weapon. That's the best receiving corps we've seen all year. There's no question about that. Tight ends outstanding, and so they got a lot going for them, particularly on offense. But our guys were dialed in tonight. Didn't have our best outing defensively as far as yardage given up, but passing yards are different than rushing yards. If you throw for over 400, you have less than a 50-50 chance to win. That's statistically proven, and so just proud of the way that the whole team hung in there. Byrd Ficklin was probably the biggest catalyst for us when we needed it. He provided 2 huge runs for us, and the guy's just a really good football player. I don't know what to say. He's got a bright future, as I've said several times before, and he's just really provides a spark for us. Wayshawn Parker did a nice job. They went over 100 yards again, and he's really motivated to do that because whenever he does it, he gets to wear those pink cleats again the next week. And so I've made a deal with him, and so he gets to we see him in pink cleats next week. But thought our defense, even though we gave up some stuff, played well on third down, held them to below right around 30%, which is good defense. Ran the ball for almost 400 yards, which has kind of been our calling card this year. We're second or third in the country rushing the football, and that offensive line is a huge reason why we're able to do that week in and week out. And credit the way they played. Got decent pressure on the quarterback, not great, but enough to make it a little bit uncomfortable for him. A couple interceptions, pick six. One was a pick six. That was a big play at that time, and so a lot of good things. A lot of things in that game that for both sides that they did well, but we did enough to get the win. So questions.
Kyle, is this the most unique win you've had as Utah in quite some time in terms of the defensive struggles and that?
I'd have to go back and really look at it, but it's the most unique win, I guess you could say, in the at least the short term past. But it was definitely a back and forth, and defensively we usually control things a little bit better, but today they got a good offense, like I said, and they got some weapons over there.
Spencer Funnell said it's about time that the offense stepped up for the defense when they needed it. Kenny, what does that mean to you to be able to have an offense that does continue to kind of answer that?
Yeah, well, that's a credit to Spencer, first of all, and the kind of person he is, and he's a competitor, and he's a team guy all the way. And our offense has done pretty good this year. I mean, we're first or second in the league in a lot of categories, and they've really, when you consider how much we struggled last year, I mean, the turnaround has been remarkable. So very proud of those guys.
When you brought Byrd in for Devon, was that because Devon was hurt or just because you were needing his spark?
Devon's a little bit beat up. There's no secret about that. That's no secret. And but he's a competitor. He's a warrior. He goes out, unless he absolutely can't function at all. He's going to want to play. And he wasn't his normal self tonight, but good enough to go out and do some good things. But Byrd, it's great to have Byrd, in the bullpen in the event that we need him.
Kyle, how much is there, maybe not a concern, but just not wanting to overwork Devon during the week, knowing that you need to get him to Saturday?
Yeah, that's every week we do that. That's a plan that we lay out, and it'll be the same this week, where he takes a lot of just mental reps, especially early in the week, and then we start to integrate him in as we get deeper into the week.
Just a quick follow-up. Do you need to see like a certain percentage of Devon during the week just to know that he is capable?
No, we just need him on game day to say I'm ready to go, because he knows this offense inside and out, as I've said many times, and the reps for him, even if they're just mental or even just not moving, but just taking the snap and going through his progression. He's a guy that he's a veteran, and if he didn't feel like he could help us win, then he'd let us know.
Is he doing any physical work during the week?
Some weeks no, some weeks yes. Yeah, I can say this: if we had to have played last Saturday, if we hadn't had a bye, he would not have been able to play. So that's without a doubt. He just wasn't ready.
Obviously, Dev and Byrd seem like they have a pretty close relationship. Just
Yeah.
speak to the unselfishness of Dev, you know, when you go and call Bird's number and you're splitting out Devin wide or Byrd wide, you know, what does that mean in terms of his leadership, his unselfishness, and just the leadership in the locker room?
Yeah, well, that's who he is. He's an absolute team guy as well. We got a bunch of guys that are just, I can't pick out a selfish player on this football team and say this guy needs to, you know, come to the party a little bit as far as being a team guy. It's a bunch of guys all pulling in the same direction, caring more about the team than they do about themselves. And that's, we say we have a lot of slogans, I guess, and fall in love with the team, not yourself. And that's what these guys have done.
Quick follow-up, was there a decision made at halftime to kind of put Byrd and get him more involved in the offense?
Yep,
And
there
how did
was.
you sort of walk him through that decision?
Well, I was in with the offensive staff, and Devin was doing what he could do, but Byrd, he's a weapon, especially in that Q run game, and we just decided that, hey, let's a little higher dose of Byrd in this second half, and proved to be helpful.
How was Byrd sort of growing up? Not necessarily over the course of the season, but week to week, how he learns, how he processes.
Oh yeah, he's maturing and becoming more seasoned every single week, and he has not had a game that he was inserted where the stage was too big. He's responded well every single time he's been in the game, and so like I said, the moment is not too big for Byrd, and he's going to be a really good one.
Kyle, was there anything in particular that really caused you fits on the defensive side, especially secondary?
Well, just the fade balls. It's you throw out those 50-50 balls, and we didn't make enough of a percentage of them, for our liking. They're going to connect on some. Like I said, that receiving core is outstanding, and the tight end, you're going to be seeing him play on Sunday for a long time. But that we got to do a little better job of winning more of the 50-50 balls, at
Time
least
for one
tonight.
There was a scuffle during the game. What do you do with that after the fact, and kind of what has happened after that?
Yeah, well, they both got personal fouls. The Scooby, I think, is the one you're talking about down in the, I don't know where north and south is, that end zone, whatever, our locker room end zone. But Scooby lost his cool a little bit, and obviously the other guy had something to do with it as well, or he wouldn't have got flagged. So we'll sort that out, and I don't know if that means that Scooby's out for the first half of the next game. It does? Well, that sucks. Okay, well, yeah, so we'll, heat of the moment, competitive, but you got to keep your cool. I'm not making excuses for Scooby. I don't know enough about the situation right now to tell you a definitive course of action for us, but we'll find out.
All right, thanks, Byrd.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. You staying over tonight, or you flying out? You're all in your private jets?
Yeah.
Good. Good. That's
Dallas
good.
play tomorrow? They play tomorrow?
No, they're Monday night.
Monday night.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you remember 2 years ago whenever I gave you popcorn after the game here in Waco? Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
I
Where's
wish
my
I had
popcorn?
some for you.
You don't have any
They
for
don't have
that?
it up there anymore.
Well, what the heck?
NIL and revenue sharing. I guess we don't get that anymore.
All right. Well, I know the thought was there. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Say Crokai from Peach Bowl.
Oh, how are
You keep
you?
winning, come to Atlanta. You guys have never played
We have
in
not
the
played.
history of the school. You've never made it to Atlanta.
Well, let's go.
Well, come
What do
on,
we
you
got to
keep
do?
winning. You gotta keep
What do we
winning.
got to do?
Well,
Keep
We're
winning?
the semifinal games. You
Just
keep winning.
just keep inviting me to this Peach Bowl golf tournament every year.
Gary said Gary made a point of saying you're like a ringer.
So
He's figured it
do I
out.
have an invite for next year?
I'm sure. I'm going to ask Gary because he's retiring.
Well,
But I'm going to say, Gary, before you retire,
Lock me
Kyle
in for life.
wants you.
Lock me in for life.
We'll get right to
Okay.
him on that.
Thank you guys.
Take care. Best of luck to you, bud.
Thank you.